What's up, guys? I just want to cover this real fast. This is a big part of my income. Even if you can't donate something to help, whatever, this is how I make my money. I basically, YouTube's a fairly good size of my income monthly. If you can't donate or you don't want to, that's fine. Feel free to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. But if I kept you from spending hundreds or $1,000 easy at a shop, consider me. You know what I'm saying? It takes time to make these videos. I love giving free information, but it also feels good to have my back scratched too. You know what I'm saying? So everything you need to know is in the link below. Also in the comment section, you'll find all my information in the pinned comments. And I hope I help you guys out. You can help me out. Let's get started.
Alrighty guys, what's going on there? I want to do a quick review. I bought this, my girlfriend, I had bought her a sport bike, but she wasn't feeling it. So I went and bought her a little GZ250 Suzuki 2005 from a dealership. It had a complete overhaul, and let me take her helmet and put it over there. I want to do a quick review of this thing. I'm going to push it out here, and we're going to have a little chat about it. It's a little twin cylinder, very gas efficient, like 75 miles to the gallon, and roughly this bike produces like almost 30 horsepower, like 28 horsepower or something like that. This one has under 10,000 miles on it. Nice little bike. But yeah, we'll push it out here. I ride that orange 600 that's in there, street bike, but she was unfortunately too short to ride the sport bike I got her, so I bought her this. I need to still clean it up a little bit, but paid $2 grand for this. Nice bike. I just want to point out a few things before we get started. Okay, number one, carbs for this thing are very, very cheap. Okay, this is probably one of the simplest bikes on the market to maintain and keep up with. Everything is accessible, and I mean everything. Everything is easy to get to. There is nothing complicated about this bike. Oil changes, and they've made everything so that you can just pull it off really easily, right? Cam chain tensioner, if you want to do your valves, they made a whole slot right up here for your valves. So the only way, I mean, you have to pull the tank to do the back one, but the front ones can be done right here. The starters right here, 2 bolts, pops off. I mean, they made this one of the simplest bikes on the planet to work on. So if you guys are thinking about an easy to maintain yourself commuter bike, this is it. Voltage regulator, plugs are underneath the tank, very accessible. Literally, it takes about 3 minutes to take the tank off to have access to the entire engine and do whatever you need to do to this bike. This is one of the simplest bikes I have ever had the pleasure of putting my hands on. Paid $2 grand for it. It has under 10,000 miles. Great little starter bike for her, and I was very surprised. This thing actually has quite a bit of pull. So I'm going to add some choke here. We'll get it started for the day, and once it warms up, take it for a quick ride. So this is a completely cold start. Gonna let it idle until I hear it start to come down. Right there. And now we're just gonna let her warm up for a sec, and then I'll take you guys for a cruise, and I'll see you on the road. We're just about ready to go here, but I just want to say, just remember, this is an air-cooled engine. This is not liquid-cooled, so this bike prefers to be on the move on hotter days. It doesn't like to sit and just idle, so don't just sit somewhere and just idle for a long period of time. The engine needs to be having air flowing across it to stay cool. This is an air-cooled bike. Okay, so we have 9,424 miles on this bike. I am a big guy. As you can see, this is very easy for me to put my feet down. And I feel a little crowded as a almost 6-foot guy on this, but totally rideable. So should be ready to go. This has a very simple clutch. I can literally pull this with one finger, if you guys can see that. This is a very simple clutch. There's not much to this clutch. It grabs nicely, but it is a very simple clutch. I don't think there's much gas in this. I just switched it over to reserve because it was pulling a little bit weird, and I think it was just kind of low on gas. So we'll test that here in a sec. I'll go across the street just to make sure. Yeah, so so I'm on reserve tank now, so I don't want to go crazy. I was like, man, it just doesn't feel like it has much pull. And then I realized that I bought this and they did not supply much gas. They just kind of put enough in there for test fuel. That was about it. So it's pulling pretty good now. We'll just take it for a quick ride so I can get my review in with you guys. Pull my helmet down. So remember, this is a little high revving machine. This does have the capability to go 75, 80 miles an hour on the highway, but you'd be taxing the engine pretty hard. But if I give her some beans, she goes. I'm already up to 40 miles an hour with no issue. I can tell these tires need to be balanced pretty bad. They need a little balancing. I'll probably have to bring this in at some point and have them balanced. But 'cause I'm getting a little bit of shake when I take one hand off. I'm definitely getting some front wheel shake here. So, but it's a good little bike. This thing cruises, has tons of power. It's a very happy machine. It puts down the power smoothly for a little tiny carbureted bike. You could easily, this is more of an in-town cruiser, guys. I don't want to make you think that you can take long highway trips on this. This is not a bike that I would be making extremely long highway trips on, but if you were jumping on the highway for short distances, perfect bike. Perfect bike for in town. This thing has no issues getting up to speed. It doesn't struggle at all, and it's easy to throw around. Because there's not much weight to it, you can really have some fun with this bike. It's very, very smooth. The suspension on this is not the best, I'll tell you that right now. It's okay. It's okay. You feel all the bumps. But if you pull back, she goes. That's a little ripper, man. This little bike gets it. Decently fast bike for what it is. You know, this thing would be just great. Absolutely great for anything that you were doing in town. Back and forth to work, job, cruising, you know, or you just wanted to putz around with your buddies. You know, this is one of those bikes that can do it. Doesn't matter whether you're a advanced rider, you know, basic rider. This thing just is a great little bike. You know, I'm having fun on it. I actually like listening to the engine wind out like it is, you know. My 600 doesn't need to pull that hard or anything, but this thing runs great. Got tons of torque. It's got a lot of pull. Fantastic little machine. I'm actually considering just buying a second one of these for me, just for gas reasons. But other than that, I think my girlfriend will have an absolute blast on this bike. It shifts well. It's easy to throw it around. Granted, the tires need a little balancing, but outside of that, fantastic little machine. This thing's awesome. I totally advise, especially if you're getting into motorcycles, this is a very, very, very good platform to start with. This bike, what are you doing there, pal? This bike is one of those bikes where it is just perfect for a beginner all the way through an advanced rider. I know I can't say that enough. I want you guys to understand this is a very easy bike for anyone to just purchase and maintain themselves without having to go to a shop. If you start having carburetor problems with a bike like this, think about it. It costs $35 to replace the carb yourself, and they already come pre-tuned. All you have to do is install the carb yourself. Pull the tank, literally just pop the carburetor on there and you're done. That's it. This is a great little bike. This thing would barely ever have to take it to a shop, as long as you're not beating on it. If you're beating on this bike, I don't know how well it would handle beating. It's a very simple little platform, very smooth, but I don't know if it would take much punishment. I don't know if I would want to punish this bike, but for what it is, it's great. Great little bike. good enough. Like I said, I'm on reserve. I don't want to push my luck. It's also still doesn't have the plate on it because we haven't gotten it legal for it yet. This thing runs perfect. Very happy machine. Very, very happy. Actually, I think the idle might be a little too high. I can turn that down right here. That going up? Yeah. There we go. That's a good idle for it right there. So, but other than that, it's great. I can see a little oil burning off from where they top things off, and got a little burning oil. Like I said, they just fully serviced this bike. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to show that to you. It's dirty right now. I'm gonna give it a full cleaning, make it look all nice and beautiful, and once we do that, I'll show you the final product. But my review of this thing is it's awesome for a small displacement machine. You know, I think once I have these tires, I think what somebody did is just slap some tires on it and they didn't have it balanced, so I'll have to bring this down and have the tires balanced. But yeah, other than that, I have zero complaints. This bike is fantastic.